Good morning, everybody, and this is your S&P 500 day trade setups for today. So we had a bit of a mixed bag on Friday. Um, Currencies going one way, and then the index is going the opposite direction. So I would assume we've got a little bit of volatility brewing. A couple of things here. So we have gapped up this morning. We'll get to that now in the lower time frames, but we do have two fairly strong bits of overhead resistance. Well, it could be resistance, or we could get above it to find support. So, and that is 39.44 and 39.20. So we've got diversions brewing here as well. So I wouldn't be wanting to jump in short just yet. What you want to see is what's going to happen higher up. I'm just going to add this gap as well. So Brooks gap anyway. That's 39.72. Now, if you drill down to the 3 hour, have a look at this gap that we've got this morning. So that is pretty much we gapped up 290 points, and we're kind of 1.3% away from where the close was last week. We do have a bit of structure here. So 39.44, very critical area. If you can get above it, start building a base on the lower time frames, you're going to see an opportunity to climb even further. But at the moment, obviously from the 3 hour perspective, we need to be above the swing high, which was 4017. So we need to be back above 4,000. That 4,000 area is obviously going to play a big role this week again. So you can see double bottom forming here. We'd need to get above, what is this area? So I don't want to move the level because the level 39.44 is the bigger level that we need to pay attention to. So let's just use that as the neckline for this double bottom. Look at the diversions here. Diversions on the 8 hour, diversions on the 3 hour, diversions on the 1 hour. So I would argue that there is a very strong possibility. If we get above 39.44, build a base, you're looking for a move to the upside. So 15 minutes, you can see he had a double attempt at structure on Friday, but it fell, but immediately formed a double bottom. And now that double bottom is playing out. So what you need to be doing is on the 15-minute today, you've got a crossover already. You're looking for structure at this area here, 39.20. You do have a weekly gap though, so that's probably going to try and draw price down anyway. So I would be very reluctant to be short just yet. And at the same time, I'm a little bit reluctant to be long as well because of this gap. So what you could find is that we basically reject this area that we're at now, come back, close the gap, build a base here, and then move the upside. And it's only then that I would look for the crossover the moving averages to get going. So yeah, I'm kind of a little bit skeptical about what we're seeing right now, specifically on the higher time frames as well. So this is all just telling me I should be looking for an opportunity to short. But this level would have been the best level for that, and we've basically got above it, and now you've got all these tails in between here, which any one of them could act as a catalyst, but at the same time, with a gap up like this, with almost a one, what's it, where are we now, I think 1.3%, yeah, 500 point gap up pre-market. Take it with a pinch of salt. I'm not going to try and go against that. You probably find if you get down to the 5 minutes, you can see above the moving averages, and we're holding. Look at the oscillators easing off again. So the logical thing here is to look for opportunity to buy into this, but I want 39.44 to give way, and I want us to build a base above that before jumping in on that. So that's just kind of my cautious outlook for today. Granted, it could just continue, but sorry, it could come back and then build a base down here and then get moving, but that's not what I'm looking for. So I'm looking for 39.44 to give way, looking for us to find support up there, and that's when I'll start looking at this for the longs. So that's kind of my outlook at the moment. Sit on my hands until that happens. So I'm a bit worried about this gap. So even if it does come back and close the gap, then we'll relook at what's happening and wait for the next the next base to form, and then we'll look for the opportunity to be long. But that's kind of my view at the moment. Shorts, would come in all honesty, up here, 39.72. So a bit of conflicting issue, long above 39.44, but I definitely will take profit at 39.72, then pay attention to that area for a continuation down. What's forming at the moment is also looking like a fairly interesting bit of structure, but we're above the moving averages on the 50 minutes, so don't really want to take that. Anyway, that's kind of my view at the moment. I'd advise you to be very cautious, to be honest. Just wait for some better structure. This big up, big down on Friday was not a positive sign. It's just another sign of confusion. Anyway, that's me for today. If this gap does close, pay attention to it, because there will be an opportunity possibly for some structure down here, but I'd want the moving averages crossed over before jumping in on that. Hope it helps you somewhat. It's a bit confused. See what happens today. Anyway, that's it for me. Catch you later. Cheers for now.